Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 123. Today I want to talk about habits and how they can impact your life and even upgrade your life. Many years ago, probably in the late 1960s, I read an article about habits. And at that time, I was studying for a very difficult exam called the Mind Manager's Certificate. And I made it a habit that at certain times of the day, of the week, I would sit down with the books that I had to study. Even if I didn't study, I would sit down at this time. And I had a weekly schedule, and I would sit there, and that was the habit that I built up. I eventually did get that certificate, and I remember telling a fella, he was studying for the certificate, and I said, here's something that I did, and it might help you. A few years later, he came back to me and he said, thank you. I said, thanks for what? He said, you told me about the habits and set the schedule every day of the week that you wanted to study, that you sat down with the books. And he said, I got my certificate too. So thank you. And that, I believe, is very key element in our lives. About probably 50% of the time, we do things that are habits. We drink our coffee, or we have certain things we eat. It's habitual. And I heard it's probably at least 50% of the time, our days, 50% of our time is taken up by habitual items and things that we do. So the challenge is to try and create the best habits. I want to share my screen. There's a comment from John Maxwell, who you may have heard of, and he says, you'll never change your life unless you change something you do daily. The secret to your success is found in your daily routine. And the things that are affected are things like what we eat, if we exercise, how much we sleep. All of those are important elements of our life. Getting enough sleep, having good nutrition, doing reasonable exercise, even reading and learning. Are we doing that on a regular, habitual basis? One of the things that I've been doing for many years now is time tracking. I'll give you an example of my weekly time tracking. Some people might think it's excessive, but it's something that I've been doing for years. And this is a page for the week in 2017 when I was in Australia. And it demonstrates different things on the page. There's on the side here is sort of the key. And let me see, yeah, here. Things when I'm traveling or I'm exercising, eating, cooking, sleeping, housework, internet consumption, investment, reading, watching TV, social, working, volunteering, vacation, if I'm doing any Toastmasters, or our future leaders. And this is when I was in Australia. So the blue shows some of the items that I've been working on with our future leaders, creating material for websites, etc. And here was an item on the Friday afternoon with our future leaders and Kids Like Us, where I had a group of youngsters from the Kids Like Us, which is a charitable organization that a friend of my daughter in Australia runs. And I was running a weekly program while I was there with some young people, which was fascinating. The other items here are the rowing. The green is exercising, and every day I would go and row, and those are the meters I did, 21 kilometers, 17 kilometers, etc. There was a competition on, so those are more meters than I normally would do, but I'd go to the gym, and after that I would either swim or have a shower, or both. And the other items were maybe the internet, and this color is people, social. Well, these were friends of my daughter's. This was someone in that I phoned in Canada, and these were friends in Canada that we had a mastermind, etc., dinner with my daughter and her family, etc. But that every half hour, as you can see, I track, and I still do that. I did it today as I've done it for years. But by able at the end of the week, I can look at it and say, what did I do for the week? What went well? What did I accomplish? I do that. What could I have done better? Things that I maybe wasted time on. And what was the best thing that happened during that week that I really enjoyed? So I do that. I analyze my weekly uh, chart, or if you want to call it. And where did I get this? I got this off the CBC. I was listening to the radio one day. I think I dropped my daughter off at the ferry and I was listening to CBC, and the lady who created this was talking about it. So I downloaded this from the CBC probably 2016, and I've been using it every week ever since. So there's an example of a habit that I have of time management and tracking my time. So that's an example that I use that might be of assistance to you. And the thing is, try and make those positive habits work. But it's not as if you want to change everything, start exercising, row 22 kilometers a day. You don't start small, look at what you eat and where you spend your time, do you exercise, etc. So that can impact your life, as John Maxwell said. It can make your life more and uplift your life and upgrade your life by changing your habits. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter. Bye for now, from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.